We didn't forget this week. We knew that it was Tuesday. We knew it was 9 o'clock, and we knew our guy, Nick Underhill, New Orleans football, he's going to be waiting by the phone.
Oh, yeah.
We called him on time this week. That was on us last week.
Nice.
But you know what you got to do? You got to watch the tape. You got to have a
You
little
gotta
film
assess
study.
yourself.
You do.
True.
And so we're back like we never left. Nicholas, how we doing, sir?
Doing great. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Tough week for the Saints. It's been a lot of glee here on the show with Lane Kiffin coming to town.
You mentioned the Saints yesterday.
We did. We talked about it for a little bit there. In a game like that, and I know there's half the fan base that probably wants a better draft choice, and I completely understand that. But in a game that tried to give itself to you like 6 different times, and you couldn't take advantage of any of the 6, man, as a former player and as somebody who knows how hard it is to win in the NFL, that was tough to watch.
Yeah, but as an idiot that talks about him on the radio, I mean, they put the plays on tape, and you can imagine them getting caught. And, hey, look, Tyler Shough made the game-winning throw, but they didn't complete it, and they kept their draft position. So now I can go watch Arvell Reese and imagine that and picture how he might fit in on the defense or Jordan Tyson. And, it's not all bad. I mean, you got to get that catch. I mean, that's kind of concerning. That's 2 of them now. Olave, Patriots in this one where he could have made a game-winning catch, and it just didn't work out. Would have been a tough play, but I mean that's what he's campaigning for. And if you want to be that class of guy, you got to catch some balls. Like it just kind of is what it is. I mean, I think I'm kind of encouraged by Shough. I mean, I think there's definitely still ways that it could go bad. I think you see the ceiling go up a little bit though with him. There's definitely some plays, but like leaving the clean pockets, it's kind of starting to become an issue for me. The interception was bad. The pick 2, I think Vele kind of gave up that route a little bit, but also a better ball could have avoided that. So there's definitely room for growth. I think he plays his way into pressure and into some sacks, and definitely stuff that's got to get better. But I don't know. I mean, I ended up finding that to be kind of like a compelling game. I thought the first half was probably as bad as we've seen, like, at all this season, all the way across the board, but it ended up turning around a little bit. And, I think I remain encouraged by him. But he's going to, really, he's going to have to play his way. He could play the Saints out of the conversation of looking at these quarterbacks and do it. Like, you got to beat probably the Jets and the Titans. I think if you can't beat the Jets and the Titans, maybe you don't have an answer there, and you should be looking. So it's kind of like a problem that solves itself, I think. But on the other topic, man, like Lane Kiffin, like that's awesome. Like having the villain like be the head coach is just like the greatest thing ever. And I've always been interested in him, but like just kind of seeing the reaction and everything. And look, I think it like totally sucks for Ole Miss and those kids and all that stuff. Like, so I definitely feel bad for them, but like having the bad guy, like, and it's kind of like the Sean Payton thing. Like, okay, cool. You don't like him doing the skull clap, like, whatever, F you, like that's the guy here. Like, it's great. Yeah, man, it's compelling. I just like, I'm locked in. I'm like following the recruiting. Like it's just awesome. It's a cool thing for this state, like to have some football excitement with one of the 2 big teams.
Yeah, Nick, because I know you're locked into so much NFL and the Saints, obviously. I know you don't get a chance to kind of like dive into college that much or LSU that much, but like it's been unavoidable, right? So this whole Lane Kiffin, the saga has been amazing. So, I mean, you just kind of gave us your thoughts, but like how much have you been able to kind of follow and like what's intrigued you the most about this whole coaching hire for LSU?
Well, first of all, no. I got 100-inch TV and 260s on the wall. I got 3 college games on every Saturday.
Right off.
I record every single one. I'm spending a lot of my week watching them. Especially even more this year, just kind of like with where the Saints are probably headed. Some years, like when they're doing good, like you kind of fall behind on it and don't put as much in. But like top 10 pick, top 5 pick, like I feel like I have a responsibility to know everything. Saturdays I've been going to college games. I just had the biggest bust of all time at Arizona State, with Jordan Tyson getting hurt in the second quarter and not being able to watch him. Went out there to just kind of put eyes on him. But look, the coaching search is like it's just like the whole thing is amazing to me. Like, and just kind of seeing how it played out and all that. And I think, look, like this is a team where people can say whatever, the collectives and all that stuff, but like there's 2 or 3 jobs that I think are the absolute peak of the mountain. And, you know, I'm not revealing any like fresh thoughts here, like Texas, Georgia, like, you know, there's a couple of teams where it's like they're right there. And then I think LSU's like the very next one. And when you can go out and you can get a guy from Notre Dame, you can get the guy from Ole Miss. Like, I don't blame Lane Kiffin. And here's like the thing that I think like stinks. Like, obviously, yes, when you're 50 years old, like there's decisions you have to make where there's a cost to it, and you don't get to, you know, have your cake and eat it. Like, that's just kind of part of being an adult. You got to make these tough decisions. And he made one, and the consequences, he doesn't get to coach through this 11-1 season. And I'm sure that's very painful for him. I'm sure it's way more painful for the people he left behind. But with the way this schedule set up, like, it makes no sense. And everyone's like, well, just wait. It's going to open in the future. Well, like, guess what? If LSU's going to want you, or if Alabama's going to want you, or Texas is going to want you, or Georgia's going to want you, like, you have to be having a good season. And that means you're probably in the playoff, which means to ever move up, you have to abandon a team, or you're choosing to be stuck at this place forever. And look, you can win at Ole Miss. Like, that's been the dumbest conversation. Is like, can he do this? Well, he's doing it right now, but can you do it as consistently? Like, no. Like, go look at their recruiting classes. They were like 34th his first year, then like 17th, 15th, 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 or something like that over the ensuing years. And then you go look at the same list, and the very first name on top of the on-3 rankings, when LSU doesn't have a coach, the kid's committed to LSU, and that's the difference. Like, people commit to the institution even more so than the coach, but then you put the two together, and it's gasoline on the fire. And I mean, like, if you're a coach and you have aspirations, like, obviously, like, these are the jobs you dream about. Like, they are the signature ones, and to get there, you got to do it. But guess what? Like, at the end of this thing, we've seen how he's left every place. He's going to leave in probably the worst possible fashion to go coach in the NFL or something else, and LSU's going to be in the playoff. He's going to submarine a season, and you're going to have the same reaction here. But, like, you know what, man? Like, if you make a deal with the devil, you got to be comfortable with a little bit of heat. And it's hot as hell in Louisiana. So, like, until then, like, it is what it is. So, like, we know how to deal with it down here, and you know, just enjoy the ride while it lasts.
Dude, that is such a good way to say it, like, because we do. Like, in Louisiana, we do know how to deal with it. Like, it's just different down here, and I think we all understand that. And if in 4 or 5 years, if it does go that way, but you got a championship, we'll tip our cap to you. We'll be like, all right, appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you got to move on and go find something different there.
We'll go get the next best
Yeah, because, like, Nick, you know this, covering the Saints, like, people in Louisiana, what do they want as much as almost anything? They want to be good in football, whatever that looks like.
And, like, look, Sean Payton kind of left in the same fashion. And, I mean, like, I don't think that gets talked about enough, that Miami literally lost a first-round pick because they were tampering with the Saints coach. And then, like, you know, he kind of just dipped. And you know, I think people kind of know how to deal with that, too. Obviously, like, there's hurt feelings. And, look, if Lane leaves, like, I expect the fan bases to be, like, petty as hell, and it's going to be nasty. But, like, yeah, if you win in the meantime, who cares? Like, it just kind of is what it is, and you know what you're getting into, and just have your eyes open and don't fool yourself that he's your guy, because I don't think he's anybody's guy. He's a situationship type person. Like, he isn't marrying anyone. Like, whatever, that's fine. Who cares? Like, you just enjoy it while it lasts. I think he's the best guy for the job. I think he's the perfect coach for this era. You know, his ability to kind of turn himself into like a social media savant and like a wrestling heel and a great football coach all in one. Like, I think that's the perfect package for 2025. You know, you're on Instagram. He's got 35 IG stories posted every single day. Like, he just knows how to keep himself out there. And like, that stuff is what matters to young people. Like, he brings a cool factor that, like, you're just not getting anywhere else. And he also happens to be a really good football coach too. So, I think they knocked it out of the park here. You know, I think two hires in a row is kind of like a guy that, like, people dislike, that they're completely different molds. Like, Brian Kelly's like a guy that made you, like, feel like, ah, man, that's the guy. And then, like, Lane's like, yeah, all right, like you got the NWO guy here. Like, it's just it's
what we said yesterday.
I think he's like a perfect fit for this place. Like, it's kind of the attitude of you know, the state, and I think it's a perfect fit. Like, I really do. I'm excited. You know, yeah, I can't wait until they play Ole Miss next year. I mean, it's just all of it's going to be amazing. It makes it way more compelling, and yeah, I think it's going to be fun.
It does bring a lot of new intrigue to that old matchup rivalry. I mean, it's a really great point because it's LSU fans, Louisiana fans can handle it because LSU is not only a brand, it's like one of the brands in college football. So if Lane does go that route, like he's kind of done in the past, it's like, okay, we'll just go get the next best head coach in the country. Ole Miss is a little pissed about it, a little sour about it because they're like, well, we're Ole Miss. We're probably not going to get one of the best coaches out there, so we just lost our opportunity. So it's just a difference, and that's one of the kind of highlights the difference between the brands and why this decision was made for Lane. Whether it was hard or not, the decision was made to come to a bigger brand. So LSU will always have a fallback for one of the best coaches in the country. Let's circle this back to the Saints for a second. Tyler Shough and Devaughn Vele, are they the next Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss?
It's insane that he played like that. I can't believe it. I thought there was something in there, but I mean, man, he was 9-9, I think, 9 targets, 9 catches. He's snatching everything out of the air. He's going up and getting it, playing physical. What a turnaround. And it's kind of unbelievable that player was there the whole time. I guess, you end up finding it due to circumstance, or maybe his style of play fits, the way Shough wants to attack the field a little bit better. But what a performance. And if that's what they're getting out of it, still don't necessarily like trading for a 27-year-old second-year player. But, I mean, the value of that trade is self-evident. And, man, do they ever need that just so you can be able to get the evaluation of the quarterback? You got to have some guys that can catch the ball, and he's doing it. I mean, what a what a drastic narrative change. It's just kind of unbelievable. And, yeah, I really like the way he plays. I like that physical nature, and I like the way that I think that's one of the things that Shough does best is kind of attacks that middle area of the field. You look at the throw charts, and that's deep red in that area. That's primarily where he goes, and I think it's just an easier way to play when you're kind of coloring in that middle of the field. The fastest way to the end zone is over the middle. So I like it. I like the way he's doing it, and yeah, I mean, I think Vele's potentially a guy. I don't think he's going to have 9 every week, but if he gives you 4 catches for 40 yards every single week, that's a solid get for a 4th-round pick. So he's turned that around big time.
Hey, real quick, last one, Nick. The Carolina Panthers. You've seen so much of them. Obviously, them being in the Saints division. Actually, one of my sons is a Carolina fan, so I actually watch a lot of the Panthers too. I've never seen a team be elite against elite, average against average, and bad against bad like this Carolina Panthers. They just beat the Rams. They beat the Packers. How do you explain this Carolina team?
I don't think you do. I mean, I don't get it. Every time I'm watching the scoreboard, I'm like, what the hell is going on? This team sucks. I don't get it.
It's crazy.
Saints beat.
So, and then you'll catch the highlight, and it's Bryce Young killing it against some teams, and then the next week it's man, that's a terrible pick. They're screwed as a franchise. I don't get it. Very, very confusing. I do think their coach is probably pretty good. He has a solid track record now. Canales working with QBs and that. So if they can ever find some consistency, man, they could be a really good team. I really like the receiver, T-Mac. He's a great example of people overthinking the draft process. Tape's great, all that stuff's great. Couple whispers about him not practicing hard out there at Arizona, and all of a sudden everyone starts talking themselves out of him. And lo and behold, what he put on tape is what he's still putting on tape. So I think he's a good lesson there. But yeah, very confusing team. I don't get them. When the Saints played, it's Shough just did it against Carolina. So what? It's just so weird. And they were bad that day. It's not like he played great against a great team. They were a bad team that day. I don't get it. Super confusing.
All right, there he's our guy, Nick Underhill. New Orleans Football is the site. Nobody covers the Saints like our guy, Nick Underhill. We appreciate it, brother.
You guys got to get rid of that Christmas music and play some NWO like wrestling deal music for the rest of the week.
Hey, it was only the opening of the hour, but trust me when I say Alondra, she'll crush it. She'll have some NWO theme music, and hey, we are all in on LSU being the NWO.
All right, guys, take it easy.
All right, Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football. Should we get shirts, hoodies? Like we got to come up with like some type of an NWO lane.
Yeah, we got to figure out like what
something.
that
It can't be like the
means, though.
lane world order. Like that's can't maybe something.
But
We'll
it
come
kind
up
of
with
is
it.
a new world order.
It is. Oh, for sure. Like it plays, but if
It
like
does,
we're
but
trying
we
to
need
keep the NWO,
You could like mispronounce
portion
lane,
of
like
it,
new lane.
then
order.
just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good. You're not more.
We'll brainstorm.
We'll brainstorm. Yeah, let's don't.
New.
We don't. Don't throw the first idea out there and think it's going to stick.
Yeah.
You know?
NLO? Can we just say
All right.
that?
All right. Let's go to break because he's going to run this. More OTB when we come back.
Off the bench.
It's rude.
TrashRangers.com. Remember, on the website, you can sign up for residential commercial service. Also, you can check out those roll-off dumpsters. 3 different sizes to choose from. And if you're not quite sure which size you need, pick up the phone, give them a call at 225-612-2477. Hey, here is my project. Here's what I'm thinking. And even if you undersell it and you fill up your dumpster a little too fast, they'll come, they'll empty it, they'll bring it back to you. That's the kind of service you're going to get every single time from Trash Rangers. Again, go to the website today, trashrangers.com.
That's right. And I'm going to keep telling you about this because I'm doing this right now, and I was shocked at it because it's the first company I've seen do this. Flat rate pricing for the roll-off dumpsters, too. No matter what size it is, they're going to give you a flat rate. That means they're going to charge you one price, and the price they tell you they're going to charge you when they drop it off or before they do is the price they're going to charge you when they pick it up. Not they're going to be like, well, there was actually a dumping fee. There was a landmine fee, whatever. They're not going to do that. It's one price, and that's what it is. And that's the first time I've ever dealt with a roll-off dumpster company that deals with that. Go check them out, trashrangers.com.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Flight by Yingling. Raise the bar.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust.